Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. I'm back with my plans and pans. You can see I'm wearing the green. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I was one of only 65 members of Congress who voted against legislation dealing with TikTok. What it says is that TikTok, a company owned by a Chinese company, and many believe also run by the Chinese government, or at least controlled by, and that company would have to find a buyer who is an American company. Now, that may or may not happen, and if it doesn't happen, then TikTok would be gone altogether. Now, I want you to know I don't love TikTok, and that isn't the reason that I was trying to save them, but I don't see the difference that much between TikTok and the many big tech companies who are often exploiting you, the consumers, who know more information about you than sometimes you even know about yourself, who buy and sell that information through data brokers, and who are really making sure that our privacy and that of our children is not protected. And so I really have, over the years, been pushing for comprehensive privacy legislation. I actually had a bill, the Data Privacy Protection Act, that passed the committee in the House of Representatives. At my behest, we got an almost unanimous vote to get it out of committee, but it did not pass. That's what we have to do to make sure that we rein in all of the big tech companies that are not giving us the privacy that we deserve and the money that they take from us, they're using in many ways to exploit us. But I also just want to say, this was very quickly run through. There was hardly any debate whatsoever on this legislation. And I want to say to my Republican colleagues, if they're so concerned about national security, why not do something to make sure that we are giving Ukraine the funding that they need? This is a true national security risk if we don't help Ukraine. That's my preference. And reining in the tech companies. This was Civics Week for high school students, and I had the pleasure of going to Glenbrook South High School, which is in my district, and talked to a group of 30 students. They were juniors and seniors. Several of them were old enough so that they could vote in the next election and to answer their questions. And there were many. They were very, very prepared. They wanted to talk about things like gun violence and reproductive rights. These were older kids. They wanted to know about student debt. Some of them were very concerned about that, how college could be made more affordable. And they raised concerns about the confrontation that they see and the chaos that they see in Washington right now. So I answered as much as I can, but mostly wanted to get answers from them. What do you think needs to happen? And I wanted to make it clear that these young people have a voice that needs to be heard. Let us know what you want. Those of you who can vote, yes, do it. But even those others who cannot yet, we are interested. Members of Congress are interested in hearing from students. This is their century, I told them. This is their time for themselves and for their children, and to be thinking about how they are going to be able to shape the world that they live in. They were great. I really enjoyed being with them. I was invited to be a guest barista, a coffee maker, at a place called Will's Place in Skokie, Illinois. Will's Place is about 1 year old, and it is an amazing, wonderful coffee place, breakfast place. What makes Will's Place so special is that it was founded by Will's mom, and her sister also helped do it. And Will is one of 22 employees at Will's Place, and all but 2 of them are young adults that have disabilities. Will, for example, cannot speak, but he can take orders. He's got a device that allows him to push a button, say, "How can I help you? What would you like?" And he can listen to those orders and send them out. Now, he was much better as a barista than I was, but the word went out that I was there, and a lot of other people in the community decided to come along that morning to Will's Place. I met with a number of these young people, and the value of this, of course, is it's a job, and it's job training, but it's also the opportunity for these young people to make friendships. And they do. They have friends not just because of work, but they get together otherwise. And that doesn't always happen with young people who have disabilities. Once they're out of high school or they're not in a educational experience, they often don't have the kinds of interaction, the social interaction. Will's Place provides that. It also provides really good breakfast food, lots of things that they make right there at Will's Place. So they have a chef and the workers who help make and put it out on the table, cookies, etc. They also are a catering place. So they're really trying to make a profit, have good food, have good service, and it really feels good to go there. So I enjoyed my visit. I was there at the opening of Will's Place, and I am encouraging my staff. Our office in Skokie is just down the block, that we spend more time at Will's Place, especially around breakfast time. So following that visit in the morning, we stayed. That is, my interns and I stayed. We have 3 wonderful college students that come and work in my office on various days throughout the week and go with me on different events to just observe and be with me. My interns are Maddie, Landon, and Lauren. And we talked about how it was to work in my office. They've really been terrific. Of course, they answer phones. They do some of the constituent service work. They make sure that all of the intake that we do gets saved and properly managed. But they have had a great experience at a hard time. Let's remember, people call sometimes when they're really upset that they haven't gotten the services that they want, or with very, very tricky issues. Most of those really tricky ones get turned over to my long-term staff. So I couldn't really do the kind of work that I need to do, that the office needs to do, that the 9th Congressional District needs without interns. So I encourage young people to come not only during the year when they can come a few days a week, but also we have summer interns both in the office in Washington and in the district office in Skokie, Illinois. So I'm going to be heading back to Washington this week. This is a very important week. We have to vote on the final 6 pieces of funding legislation. And if we don't, then we end up with a government shutdown. I am optimistic that we're going to get those bills passed, but we will see. So I will be sure to keep you posted. That's it for this week, and I'll be back with you with my plans and pans next week. Thanks. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.